Hello, my name is William Despain. Today, I would like to talk to you about the people of the Congo region of Africa. I would like to tell you about the history that brought them to where they are today. It's no secret that Africa has been exploited for slaves and resources for hundreds, if not thousands, of years. The Congo is no different. I believe this is something we should all know and understand in order to better treat one another throughout the future. We must learn from our mistakes. Most of all, we must learn how to treat other people. There's no doubt that European imperialism forever impacted the region of the Congo. Today, I intend to analyze some of what happened and brought the Congo to what it is today. Much of who the Congo people were prior to imperialism is lost to time. There's several reasons for this. The first is the majority of the Congo people's history was kept in oral tradition. There was no written history. So while much of what we know and understand comes from this oral tradition, um, without written history, much was lost. To further the difficulty in understanding who the people of the Congo were prior to imperialism, is that the Congo is a dense jungle and has a floor covering, ground covering of vegetation that makes archaeological discovery and expedition near impossible. Um, However, there, what we do know is limited, and I will try to convey to you today. In his 1999 book, Historical Dictionary of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Zaire, Bob F. Scott claims that the first people to arrive in the Congo Valley migrated from the east and arrived around 1000 BC. These were Bantu speaking people. At this point, Congo was known as the Kingdom of the Congo, spelt with a K, not a C like we're familiar with. The Kingdom of the Congo reached its peak at about 1500 AD. At this point, you had several groups of people living different lifestyles in the Congo region. Some were herders, some were hunter gatherers, and the largest of these groups were agricultural based groups. They all shared one thing in common: they had a very tight social political hierarchy. So it didn't matter if we're talking a smaller group of people that were hunter gatherers, or if we're talking about founded community agricultural. Everybody ran off of a social political hierarchy that had a Muslim influence to it. Again, without written history, it's very difficult to paint a clear picture exactly how that looked. European influence would arrive around 1480 when Portuguese explorer Diego Cao would sail the Congo River and meet the Congo people. The Congo people, unlike much of other Africans, welcomed European visitors. Um, in her book, A History of World Societies, Volume 12, Mary Wisner Hanks describes the trade in Africa at 1500s as follows. Slaves were West Africa's second most valuable export after gold. As the Portuguese would exploit the slave trade and the gold of the Congo region, many other European countries would take notice. Um, this would eventually lead to the 1884-1885 Berlin Conference. In his June 30th, 2019 article, The Berlin Conference to Divide Africa, Matt Rosenberg defines this conference as a hodgepodge of geometric boundaries that divided Africa into 50 irregular countries. It was pretty much European powers splitting and dividing Africa for resource and slave exploitation. During this conference, Belgian King Leopold II had expressed his interest in controlling the Congo region. He had already invested greatly in exploring and establishing societies within the Congo region, associations. Um, so when King Leopold II was at the Berlin Conference of 1884-1885, he was able to provide 500 treaties signed by Congo tribal leaders, chieftains. Due to this, the other European powers agreed that the Congo would be assigned to the Belgians. So, after the 1884-1885 Berlin Conference, the Congo Free State was established. This was the name of the Belgian colonialism empire that was now reigning over the Congo. So, while King Leopold II tried to make the approach of no slaves and a better humanitarian practice, this was not the case. There was a labor law put in place that allowed other European powers and companies to set up and control large portions of the Congo or villages, or and to tax the people in the form of rubber or other goods. This labor law would be exploited to the point where entire villages were put in bondage and forced to work every day. And if individual groups or villages did not pay their taxes or their quota, massacres happened. There were entire villages massacred, and this really brought the international community's attention to what was happening in the Congo. So King Leopold II thought, well, you know what? Maybe we will annex Africa or annex the Congo and remove ourselves from this ugly image that's being portrayed and as the Congo is being exploited. So they went ahead and changed the Congo Free State to the Belgium Congo. Belgian Congo had a renewed promise to human rights. However, labor laws did not change, and the indigenous people continued to suffer. In their 2022 book, Migration in Africa, Shifting Patterns of Mobility from the 19th and 21st Century, Michael Haas and Frankema Iwat state control of labor was paramount importance in the development of economies and extraction across colonial Africa in the early 20th century. By the 1930s, the whole world's public opinion changed around forced labor, and at the end of World War II, these views really changed, and change was forced upon imperial Africa. In 1960, June 30th, the Democratic Republic of Congo, also known as Zaire, was granted its independence from the Belgian government. However, peace has not been the history of Zaire. Civil unrest has dominated the region since the hasty withdrawal of the Belgians. In 1997, Africa's First World War would begin in Rwanda and spill over into the borders of Zaire. The Rwanda massacre of 1997 is another example of the unrest that still lies in the Congo region today. Due to the lack of structure left by the Belgians when they withdrew hastily in the 1960s, the Congo people still suffer from civil war, famine, lack of quality of life, and human trafficking. Organ trade is a big deal in the Congo. People sell their kidneys and livers, whether it's by force or by personal choice. It is still a huge problem. So, with all of this in mind, I implore you to read about these cultures that were lost to time, as well as educate yourself on how these mistakes and mistreatments were made. What was it that we did wrong, and what can we do better in the future? Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful day.